We are here today with Paula Coleman, who has just recently gone through a week's worth of home care training with both her daughters, Megan and Julie. And she has agreed to graciously share with us a little background on her research into the home care industry. And once we address that, share her views and thoughts on the past 45 hours of training over the past week.
Yes.
Paula, I know that you were a terrific researcher. You researched the home care industry. You looked at franchises. What did you find out in your research?
Well, as you said, I did a lot of research, and when I decided that I did want to pursue this industry, I figured I'd better look into all the various avenues available, and started, of course, looking into licensing, what it's going to involve, looking into the business aspect, and of course looking into the franchises, just because when you hit Google, some of those franchises are going to pop up. So I did quite a bit of research and spoke to quite a few franchises, honestly, about their models, what they offered, whether it's the training, whether it's the ongoing support, whether it's the royalties, because they have tremendous fees that they charge. In doing my research, I also came across a YouTube video that just happened to be you, Gavin, talking about home care seminars and addressing the do you need a franchise question. And with that, I watched your YouTube video, and you made some excellent points. As my parents were business owners, I was of the mindset that I needed a franchise. And because we were a mom and pop shop, that ultimately the franchises took over the neighborhood. But this isn't McDonald's, as Gavin has explained and will explain to you. It's a very different environment, and a franchise is not necessary. It's word of mouth, it's relationships. And after watching your video and understanding the comprehensive points that you made, I became very interested in pursuing and looking into what you had to offer. And so that was the beginning point, was the YouTube video, and then I went on your website, and I also began working with a recruiter who was feeding me information from franchises, but also was aware of their services and had provided it to me as well. So
And
that's where I started.
okay, and the recruiter.
Yes.
Who was?
Basically what I did there is I had gone out, because I was just really researching information. I had gone out to one of the entrepreneurial websites, put in home care agencies, and they pop up a list of all these agencies, and you can put your information in to request information, which I did. And subsequently the phone rang off the hook, but one of the phone calls was from a woman in Waxhaw, nearby. I'm a North Carolinian, Gavin's from North Carolina, which is great. And the woman I spoke to, the recruiter who called me, Sue Bennett of Fran Finders, she reached out to me. She's very familiar with this industry, and assisted me in doing some research to find out the best option for my situation. And one of her suggestions was to talk to Home Care Seminars and Gavin specifically, and she arranged our first call.
Cool. Pleasant woman to work with?
Fantastic woman to work with. She lets you make the decision that's best for you, and gives you the tools that you need to do a good analysis, gives you the insight into the questions you should be asking for the industry when you're speaking to these franchises or whoever. And so she has a lot of knowledge there, but ultimately, supports whatever decision you make. And certainly for my scenario, and I would say in most cases, the best way to go would be with Home Care Seminars.
Well,
I am a fan.
That's very gracious of you to say, because so frequently it does come down to dollars.
Absolutely.
And it's dollars and support and what you get.
Mm-hmm.
Franchises, just on a very high level, franchises versus home care seminars. Franchises, big dollars. Home care seminars, pretty affordable.
Franchises are fees, royalties, national funds, technology funds. There are more fees hidden in those documents, which I read, than you can shake a stick at. And they're very creative in how they assess them, and they're all they're all varied. Everything you could possibly need to start your home care business is provided by Home Care Seminars. From the support, Gavin, you're fabulous. Your wife Cindy has been in the course. Your mother-in-law, another family member. Everybody's been in this business. Your nurse was available, talked us through the nursing regulation aspect, down to offering your experience on how to organize our files. Not that we have to do it that way, but in your experience of 15 plus years in the industry, how you do your business to get through an audit and to, obtain customers and go out and obtain your marketing and hire employees and the challenges you'll face. Every aspect of this business, in my research, the questions that I had posed for myself and the long list I had made of questions that I needed answered, I have received the answers to within this week.
Cool.
And most of which I didn't even have to ask because they are part of your curriculum.
Well, with 43 years of home care experience and 6 training agencies from around the country and the world, I would hope that we would do right by you.
We are. I feel that we are leaving with everything we need to start up. We've just got to go put it in order, get the name changed on some of the forms to where it's our company, but we have the templates that we need to begin business, whether it's employee files, client files, marketing materials. We have everything we need after spending a week with you to begin our business.
Perfect. And that is, at the end of the day, I think that's our goal, is to have you in, share with you over 43 years of home care experience, have you model it after our home care agencies, and this is why I live and breathe home care, since we are Raleigh, North Carolina's oldest home care and one of the oldest home care agencies in the States. Mm-hmm. Having been audited, we know our material is tried and true. And send you back to, in your case, Gastonia, send you back to your city and town, help you get established, help you get your feet underneath you, support you in that first year and a half that's going to be necessary. Mm-hmm. And at that point, you pretty much learned everything there is in that first year and a half that you're going to tackle in this industry. Mm-hmm. And at that point, move forward on your own. We'll always be here to support you. Mm-hmm. We love our trainees. We love getting to know them. And
we feel the love in the class. So, if anybody's looking to come to your class, you feel the love here. You treat us very well.
Well, and of course, once so our goal is to get you into the home care business, get you started, get you up and running, but do it in a manner that is both affordable and is not going to break the bank for you. Mm-hmm. And we don't have ownership in your agency. And I think that's one of the beauties of our training, is that the individuals that we train, we assume are going to be sharp and rational individuals, and that we can lay out to them the way that they want to do business, mm-hmm. the way that makes sense, what has worked for us. Mm-hmm. But once they get back to Gastonia, once they get back to Memphis, once they get back to Cleveland, Ohio, they are free to run their agencies as they see fit.
Right.
Because I think one of the things that is a downside about franchising is that it is incredibly constraining. In those documents you mentioned, the FDDs,
Yes.
franchise disclosure documents, they will have you chained to the wall,
Yes.
and you won't have any wiggle room in those chains, will you?
No, you won't. And that's another thing, as a business owner, of course we're concerned about expenses and how to keep our expenses in check. And one thing that did jump out at me with the franchise models is you are, of course, you're required to work under their template, under their model. You must use their suppliers. You must use their exact form of flyer. You have no way to price shop. You have no way to make it the most reasonable choice for your budget. You are under a constraint, and you must do it according to their rules. And there are many regulations that they have written in there. In addition, they'll limit your territories. They'll tell you get 250,000 people, or you get 55,000 seniors, and basically you'll do the math and equate it back to how many real live folks that are your market that you will be pursuing. Where when you're not going with a franchise, you can determine your market, and you can make whatever flyers you want. I can take the flyers I receive from Home Care Seminars, and I can put my logo on them and borrow them according to Gavin. So, and that will be much more cost effective than one of the franchises. Another thing that I felt was extremely beneficial is, in addition to on the business side, anybody who runs a business knows you've got to have the tools, whether it's the software, whether it's the know where to go to do what you need to do. And by the time we got through with this week, I know how to schedule. You've shared with me the telephony system and the scheduling software that will be coming out here shortly in the future. I know how to use QuickBooks. I know how it integrates with Time Curve,
Yep.
and multiple other software or web-based arenas that are tools that you have found useful, that were, quite frankly, on my list of need to research, got to find out how to do this, and I'm leaving here knowing. I don't have any questions anymore on how I'm going to run, monitor, and manage my business when I leave here. And yes, we may change things as we evolve.
But that's your freedom to.
Yes, but we're leaving here with a model that we can begin with, that is a working model, and that we can evolve and grow or keep it just as it is. So.
Well, and I think one of the benefits of Home Care Seminar versus a franchise, and just to touch on this, we don't limit your territory.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to, I know that ultimately you'd like to open up 1, 2, maybe even 3 home care agencies.
Mm-hmm.
Serving.
I'm an optimist.
Okay.
We'll see.
There's no additional charge for that. We're not going to sell you another territory. Once you go through the training, that's it. You can reuse our material as often as you need to open up those additional offices. Mm-hmm. As you pointed out, we don't have a royalty fee. Mm-hmm. We have a one-time flat fee for training, $17,500. The support is $250 a month, and it's mandatory for the first 12 months. After that, you can discontinue support it.
It's good because you'll need it, and you'll need that support because we're going to have questions. And the fact that you're available for those questions, it's wonderful. I feel so much more confident leaving here today than I did walking in after doing all my own personal research and my long list of questions.
Were you a little nervous Monday morning when you came in?
I was a little nervous Monday morning because I had decided I'm going to do this, and it's a new business. It scared me to death, and I feel much better now because I really feel confident we can do it. We have the tools we need, and I know we have the support that
having trained many agencies over the past 6 years, I can assure you, Paula, that you and Megan and Julie have exhibited all of the right characteristics to be super successful in this business.
I hope so.
Any last words of wisdom to the folks out there that you can think?
Just that ask me any given day